'em up. Put 'em up. Which one are you first? I'll fight you both together if you want. I'll fight you with one paw tied behind my back. I'll fight you standing on one foot. I'll fight you with my eyes closed. Oh, pulling an axe on me, eh? Sneaking up on me, eh? Why?
Here. Go away and let us alone.
Oh, scared, huh? Afraid, huh? How long can you stay fresh in that can? Come on, get up and fight, you shivering junkyard. Put your hands up, you lopsided bag of hay.
Now, that's getting personal, Lion.
What's going on, buzz smokers and movie lovers, and welcome back to 5 on It. On today's episode, with the release of Wicked for Good coming out pretty soon, we decide to hop in our DeLorean and go back to 1939 to review the original, The Wizard of Oz, to see where it all started. But before we go into that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a share, a comment, a like, help out the channel for a couple of buzz smoking movie lover buds out. But Sir Fraser, let's get into The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, man, as you mentioned, we wanted to kind of revisit this. We did this recently with Predator since Badlands is out, and it seemed right to do this with The Wizard of Oz given Wicked is out. And full disclosure, this is the first time I've seen this movie all the way through.
Same.
Very familiar with this movie. Its cultural shadow and legacy is pretty vast. I mean, everything from the Muppets to Wicked to, I mean, just the iconic songs like Somewhere Over the Rainbow,
The Yellow Brick Road, even the witches, even like the witches' lines.
Yeah, I was like, I'll get you, my pretty, or Ding Dong, the witch is dead. I mean, this movie has such a huge footprint over the decades since it's been released. And just also something worth calling out is that this was, I believe this was one of the National Film Registry. This is one of the initial, this is part of the inaugural class of the first 25 films inducted into the library, selected by Library of Congress for the National Film Registry because of its cultural, historical, and aesthetic significance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's not really surprising. Man, one quick note, though, like I noticed, though, when I didn't really put two and two together, was the tornado scene when you see the cow. And I was like, so that's where Twister got that thing from. I never even put that together until I saw it, and I was like, oh, Twister, you little cheeky bastards.
I didn't even think about that until you mentioned that. One thing, I mean, this movie has, one thing I do really want to call out about this movie that I think works so well is that the chemistry between the main four characters, Dorothy, the Tin Man,
the
lion, and Scarecrow, like they had a really great screen chemistry. And I don't typically gravitate to musicals, but there were some really strong musical moments in this movie, even though some kind of it felt like it was dragging a little bit at times. But I did want to call out the screen chemistry because, I mean, this movie, the thing about this movie too, man, like even though it was critically successful, so I mean, for example, like it won Best Picture. I'm sorry, no, it was nominated for Best Picture, but it won for Best Original Song. This movie didn't really find a lot of success until years later.
Yeah.
That's when in terms of like financial success, kind of recouping, like exceeding its budget.
Yeah. That
didn't happen until years later. And when it was released on television and television became, in so many homes across the country, that also, when it was aired on there, that kind of helped boost its popularity again for a new generation of fans.
Yeah. That was their streaming.
Yeah. For real, right? Something that I also got to call out, man, is just how horrendous the production history behind this movie was, man. Everything from the abuse that Judy Garland, right, as well as the snow that was made of asbestos, which is insane.
What?
So the snow,
I never heard about that.
So the snow that they used when the witch grows the poppies to put them to sleep as they're trying to get to the wizard, that was actually snow that was made of asbestos, dude. the face paint that they used on the Wicked Witch, like the toxic face paint. There were second-degree burns for Margaret Hamilton, and there were actually like electrocuted crew members. Like this set for a movie that has been this significant and has had this kind of like popularity across decades, which I also want to call out. And I talked off mic. That's an impressive feat in of itself, because this movie came out right around the same time as Gone with the Wind, and that movie, for a number of reasons, has not aged well. But it's also, it's just interesting thinking about how wholesome and this movie is, given how just horrific, like just terrible the production history was back then, man.
Man, like I wonder if that was just was like more of an exception, or is that was just kind of going around on movie sets like back in like the day, because there was just not a lot of oversight and a lot of like people like caring about some of these things. I mean, I'm sure like females. I mean, even like to this day, obviously with the Harvey Weinstein stuff, but it's like I'm sure it was even like could be even worse even back then, because there's just nobody that's like, whether it's they're caring about it or putting the people in place to like make sure like things like this don't happen, like people's safety. Because I mean, using asbestos, that's insane, man.
Dude, I read that, I was like, my eyes almost fucking fell out of my head. I was like, what?
Dude, and
you did what?
And honestly, you mentioned Gone with the Wind. They had no shame in their game. 3 hours and 58 minutes. What? Yeah, that's not going to have any replayability for me, man. I don't know how many movies. No. Even a John Wick 5 can't make me sit down for damn near 4 fucking hours, bro. Like,
last time I tried something like that was The Irishman?
Yeah.
And that is not one of my favorite Scorsese movies.
I mean, I've never seen Gone with the Wind. Maybe it's just so enthralling and it just captivating. But like even in Avatar, man, I'm gonna fucking probably knock for like a good 10, 15, man, because that's a long time to be sitting and just staring at a screen.
No question, man. This movie. Think about this movie though. This movie is like a buddy road movie. When you think about it, it's a travel movie. Like each of these people become friends and they are in pursuit of something, and it's like that. This is a story about like self-discovery, I guess. Like I would say that. Yeah, because like I mean, all of them
they all want something, but they all have it like already within themselves. Yep. So it's like they're on this like they want something, but they just need to open up their eyes to what they really have, because it's all deep down inside themselves already.
Yeah, like a wholesome message.
Yeah.
Totally understand, the popularity of that. But it is interesting too, just the way it starts off, right? Because we get the sense of Dorothy as being a little helpless, a little in the way. She's staying with family, but she's also already, like, even though she's newly staying with them, her dog ends up biting the neighbor. And so that kind of already gets her off to a bad start living with her family now. In Kansas, and the tornado scene, right?
No, my it's comical now at this point.
She got concussed.
Well, thinking of like they released this in the Sphere for Vegas, and they did like all these enhancements. Yeah, you should go and check out like some photos. I'm sure I could probably.
They showed this movie on the Sphere.
Huh. And they did like all these like digital enhancements to make it more full, and they showed like some stills like online of like the tornado scene and even like the wizard scene at the end, and I'm just like, whoa. Well, I mean, it's the Sphere, so you have to go there and pay like that $40-$80 however price it is, but the visuals look amazing now. I'm like, yeah, that's the tornado now. That's the shit. But obviously you can't get that just watching it at home.
No. And to your point, this is a movie that I would absolutely see on the big screen.
Yeah,
I would totally be down to see this on the big screen, because I think the Technicolor, man. I mean, this movie is beautifully shot. The practical effects look good. The colors pop, and I love the transition from this really dreary Kansas kind of color palette, and then we're transplanted to Oz, and I mean everything from the yellow brick road to the ruby slippers to the witch's green skin, like it all just pops, man.
Yeah.
And it really made this movie aesthetically, just visually really pleasing. I know we talked off mic about how that's something, especially like in Grand Budapest, but not limited to that. That's something that the color, the use of color by him was what really just takes his movies up a notch.
Yeah.
And I think that this is another great example of the use of color doing that.
Honestly,
and
like
the crispness of it too.
Yeah, everything like still pops. I mean, even like I think I know what they're going for, like you said, with the dreariness of like Kansas and everything like that. Because I mean, it does feel its age a bit in that.
It was also like this is like the Depression era, right? So
Yeah.
like there's also that element that's like kind of playing into that.
Yeah, and so like I mean, honestly, that first little bit is like it's not tough to get to, but it's like oof. I was like, I know this is going to get color, but how long are we going to be in Kansas? But you're not really in Kansas too long.
No, like maybe less than 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, I was going to say like maybe like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she opens the door and she's in Oz and you're just like, or is it Emerald City?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like you're just like going through and the colors just start popping immediately. And then when like the Munchkins come in and they start, which I mean, I guess you could take or leave the Munchkins a little bit.
They're in Munchkin Land. My bad. They're not in Emerald City. They're heading to Emerald City.
Yeah,
where
that's
Oz
it. They're
Munchkin Land. Yeah,
you're correct on that one. I was just like I said, you could take or leave however you want to feel about the Munchkins and like some of their voices and even the costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like everything still holds up, but like yeah, you could definitely tell you're watching an older film. Obviously.
1,000%. Yeah.
But everything, like I said, still holds up as far as like even when what's her name? I want to say it's Ariana Grande's character, which is
Glinda.
yeah,
the Good
Glinda.
Witch.
When like you see like the
bubble,
like, the bubble pop and like coming up, and it just gets bigger and bigger. Everything like because you can see it's like translucent, you can still see through it. So I'm like, whatever effect they're doing for this still looks great. And then when she comes in, that looks amazing. And then when the Wicked Witch comes there first, but then Linda sends her off because it's like, you have no power here or whatever. And then she's like, I'll get you my pretty little dog too. And then when the witch goes and you see like the burst of flames.
The red looks so good.
I was like, damn.
Looks good.
This looks great still.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like, yeah, that first 10 minutes, I get it's like dreary Kansas and everything. But when we get to like Munchkin Land and we're on the yellow brick road and everything, and now we're starting to meet all the characters. I'm like, yeah, there's like some repetitiveness, I suppose, to it because it's just meet character, go through, sing a song, and go to the next one.
It's formulaic for those first, as we're meeting those next three characters.
Exactly. But like, it's still like pretty engaging for the most part. But there are some moments where it's like, it gets a little, it's like I said, it starts showing its age just a little bit for me.
Yeah. I do. And you know, some of that is also, and I hate to say this, like there's also some of the reason why I think that this movie feels aged is because of how wholesome it is. Like this kind of like wholesomeness and innocence that I see in our day and age where everything is so hypersexualized. Yeah. It's such a stark contrast, like to where our culture is now compared to then. I mean, obviously they were coming out of the Depression. They were still like 39. Maybe they still were.
Yeah, because Depression was like 33.
30. The stock market crashed in 29. So I'm not sure when the official Depression started, but it was well into the 30s when it was still happening. Yeah. Right. I think. So yeah, I mean, it's coming from a completely different time where people were knowing what it was like to truly do without. Yeah. Right. And so like, it's so apparent. Like, yo, this definitely feels like it was in a different era, and that I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that like. As a statement of fact, but I also think that it adds to like the wholesomeness of the story, and it makes the journey that you go on with these four characters rewarding in its way. And
honestly, too, like I feel like it's also giving credit to Judy Garland and how like she's playing the character of Dorothy, and something like I watched this on HBO Max. We talked about this off mic that if you watch this on HBO Max, they give you a little intro to it, just like a little bit of history of the film, and that Shirley Temple was originally supposed to play Dorothy, but she was 10 years old at the time, and she was the most popular actress at that time too, which honestly can kind of, you can take or leave. That there's some pros and cons to like that kind of statement, because it's like a 10-year-old is literally the leading actress at the time.
Well,
that's
and also weird. And you also wonder about what protection. Well, maybe better yet, the lack of protection that these children had from this industry and the people who were running it, and how manipulative and toxic and unhealthy that environment could be and was for a lot of these child actors. But yeah, I think
That would have been interesting. Like, I mean, to see a 10-year-old though, like we were talking, like she's pretty much like a munchkin too. So
Yeah.
that almost like be a little bit jarring to see a 10-year-old in that role.
well, in the original, so I think in the original story, Dorothy was pretty young. So I don't know if you saw, you've heard of this, The Return to Oz. This was
yeah.
Did you hear about that movie?
I like when doing like a little bit of research on this film, I saw like they had a sequel to this, The Return to Oz, and I saw like some of the photos, and I was like,
This
oof.
dark. So
I was like, what the fuck happened? Because it looks like it took a hard turn.
So a couple things I want to say about that. So I also got on that rabbit hole just looking up this movie, and that took me to Return to Oz, which was put out by Disney, and this was in '85, so this was mid '80s. But this is a dark fantasy. I saw some of the pictures, even the way that it starts. Like, my understanding is they pick up essentially where Wizard of Oz left off, and she is telling her aunt, "No, like Oz is real. What I experienced was real," and they're like giving her. She's like being taken to like a hospital to get like electric shock therapy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking like, this is a kid's movie?
This is Shutter Island. We
Yeah,
return to
what the hell is
Return to
going
Shutter
on?
Island.
And then, like you were saying, to your point, you start looking at the pictures, and this was a much darker movie. And I'm really curious to actually check this out, but a much darker movie compared to The Wizard of Oz. But I also read from multiple reviews that The Return of Oz was more in line with the theme of the books compared to the 1939.
Well, like speaking of like the book, and like one, I guess, glaring change that they did from like the book from that is that the fact that it was a dream, and that's what it kind of like made me like kind of question, like, why would they even do that though? Like, why would they switch it up like to make it seem like Oz wasn't real, or like, I just don't know, like, why would they make that like that type of distinction? Why would they switch it up like
In
that?
the storyline?
Yeah,
Like,
to
why
make
did
it like, oh, she when she wakes up, like, oh no, it was all fake. And,
Or was it?
Yeah, I mean, because I didn't read I didn't read the book or anything, but I was like, is that kind of like where they were going with it? Like, she was actually seeing those characters, because obviously when you're watching the movie, I'm like, that is definitely the same actress as the neighbor and the witch. So I was already leading to like,
Is this real?
I was like, is this real? Like, I'm pretty sure she's dreaming, because I kind of heard already something from this. And so I was like, when I looked up like some research, and I'm like, they switched it up from the book, and like in the book it's like, nope, that was like that was real. That was completely real, everything that happened. But like when they did it in the movie,
it's more ambiguous. Like,
Yeah.
you're left kind of wondering. It's almost, yeah.
But I was like,
I'd be curious to see like fan theories about this movie.
but I was like, is that kind of what they were leading to in the book also? Like in the book, do they make that kind of like known that like when she's going through that type of world, like she's kind of seeing these characters as like the people in real life? It's just a little bit more noticeable, like when you're actually watching the movie itself, because you're actually seeing the visual of an actress playing two different roles. You're like, oh, then that's the neighbor, that's the witch, that's the oh boy, and that's the scarecrow.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I don't know. I guess it might be a little confusing, but it was just weird. Why would they make that change to the ending like that?
I guess like, okay, so maybe this is a point of confusion for me, because so I was reading in the book, Oz is very real, to your point, but in this one, I wasn't clear. Did she wake up in her bed, as in like that's where she was this entire time, or did they find her and then bring her to her bed?
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Because like I didn't walk away. That's why I was thinking it's ambiguous, because I didn't know that it wasn't spelled out to me where she was found. So maybe I missed that. Maybe they did say, hey, you know, we found you. You were in her bed the whole time. Like, I don't remember if they actually clarified that.
Yeah, that's why it's like in the movie, it's like it seems like
it's ambiguous.
Oh, she's just
right?
like, yeah, it's like, oh, so this was a dream, but
maybe
like,
it wasn't.
But it's like maybe I gotta read. Maybe I have to
her.
read the book, and like maybe the book is making it more known that like we found Dorothy in like such a like in like a field somewhere, like or like away. Like maybe the book just makes it more known that no, she was actually on a journey and everything like that. And so like I was wondering why maybe the book makes it more known and the movie wants to make it more ambiguous.
Yeah, because my takeaway was it's ambiguous in terms of whether or not she was dreaming, but I'm Yeah, I mean, shit, it's almost like an Inception. It's like,
Dude, I know. That's why I was like, once I read that, I was like, because like when you try to explain something like that, I feel like it almost sounds kind of confusing. I'm almost confusing myself trying to explain this shit. But I feel like I know what we're both like leading to with this.
Yeah.
It makes me want to almost read the book in a way.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And also this movie,
The Return to Oz.
I'm looking at, like I said, I'm looking at something. I don't know if I want to watch Return to Oz. That shit looks very dark. But this movie definitely makes me very interested to watch Wicked and watch Wicked for Good as well. I haven't seen Wicked, and I didn't see it when it came out a few years ago. But it definitely makes me interested to check it out because you see Ariana Grande's character, like how she pops in with the bubble and everything. But you're wondering, like, how does the Wicked Witch of the West like become so evil? And I guess in Wizard of Oz, though, they're kind of making it known because the Wicked Witch of the East is the one who dies, and
She's killed
Dorothy's arrived
by Dorothy landing on her.
Yeah, and so it's like
She's got beef and legitimate beef.
if somebody dropped that house on my brother, I think I would be out for blood as well. So it's like, yeah, that's why that's probably why she's evil at this point. So, but it makes me interested to see like the story leading up to like these moments, though.
Yo, no, for sure. We talked a little bit about some of our negatives. Yeah, I mean, what did you think of the ending? Just the reveal that the Wizard of Oz is really some fucking hack.
Oh, like once they actually get there,
Yeah,
and
don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain,
dude. But also, like, this almost is getting like kind of funny to me because when they get there and everything's kind of going, you're like, oh shit. But then he's right there
the whole time.
I thought like
He was
like
behind.
you're behind a curtain, but I'm like, bro, you should have been offset a little
literally
bit more.
behind the set.
Yeah, like, bro, why the fuck are you just literally right in front? Like nobody can see you. Like, I can see you, man. I can see your legs underneath the curtain. Bro. Like, so like the ending, I mean, it's a little bit bittersweet, I suppose, because like you see it just like kind of all fake. But like I said, it gets a little like kind of confusing. Like, is this actually real? What's happening? But when you think of like the characters, it's a great meaning behind it because they're, like you said, they're on a journey of self-discovery. But when they actually get there, they don't really need anything because what they really need is already what they have.
Yeah.
And so it's a great meaning behind it and everything like that. But then that damn dog. Because you're thinking like, oh, Dorothy is gonna like go off with
This
Oz and the hot air
balloon.
balloon, which I'm not getting on any fucking hot air balloon after all these weird accidents. But you think she's gonna go off, Toto gets the fuck out, and then you find out that she could literally return home. Oh yeah, Dorothy stole the chick's shoes too. She stole it. It's like she's dropped the house on the bitch.
Well, to be
and
fair,
then she stole the shoes.
Yeah, I know. That was the visuals of that, right? Where the shoes disappear and appear on Dorothy's feet, and then the witch like kind of folds up.
Yeah.
That was like the visuals of that were pretty dope. I mean, going back to what you're saying, I really like the actual the visuals of the Good Witch when she floats down both times in the bubble.
Yeah.
Those were really cool.
Even like
yeah.
I was gonna mention the songs aren't like too bad as well. Like I could definitely see how they're pretty catchy though.
Yeah.
I mean I can't know all the lyrics, but just as far as like the Yellow Brick Road and Over the Rainbow, which I think she was nominated and won for that song.
She was. Yep, she was nominated for that one. Yeah.
But then also like Ding Dong, The Witch is Dead.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's just too catchy, man. The
Oh,
Wicked
yeah.
Witch is Dead. Like
I mean,
that's got a little vibe to it,
the I'm
little
melting.
bounce.
The I'm melting when she threw water on them. Yo, first of all, they were terrorizing that scarecrow, bro. When the flying monkeys fucking are ripping him off and like tear his legs off.
Oh my god.
Yo, when we meet, another funny part, right? When we meet the Tin Man and he's rusted.
Yeah.
He can't even talk. It's so good.
Dude, it's just very as the British would say, it's very cheeky in a way, like how like they're like feeding them oil and everything. Bro.
And he's trying to walk one at a time.
Yeah.
It's so this movie it is genuinely funny. Of course, when we meet the lion, and of course the irony that he is scared of his own damn shadow.
Yeah.
And he's like, something pulled my tail. And he's holding his own tail.
Yeah.
When they're walking to go see the Oz. And again, that's another highlight. The visuals of when they're walking down like that tunnel to get to the wizard, the beautiful, like really bright greens and just the set design, and even like that whole scene was a highlight for me.
Yeah.
Because they're all dealing with their fear, and the wizard knew what all of them were coming for, damn near, except for Dorothy maybe.
Yeah.
But he knew what all they were coming for. I was like,
well, I guess it's like, well, Dorothy just wanted to get home at the end
Yeah.
of the day. But, damn, I just literally lost my train of thought for a second. Fuck, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, like, the witch, how she died.
Uh-huh.
It's a little, like, damn, kind of like, really, well, like, you lose because of water. But then you're the reason why the dude was on fire, and then she just dies because the dude was going to get some water thrown on him to put out the fire, but then she just happens to be standing there. It's just kind of like a little bit on the sillier side.
Oh,
like,
yeah, definitely.
It's like she was just standing there and just gets the water accidentally poured on her, and then I'm melting. I was like, wow, bitch.
Well, there's also that, but also, you mean to tell me you've been flying around musty as fuck, bitch? What? No wonder your minions were so happy when you died. They were like, this smelly ass bitch is gone.
I know, we all know that Oochie Coochie was
I can breathe through my fucking nose now around her.
That shit was out of control, most definitely.
Oh man, but like yeah, man. I did enjoy the video, the finale of this, and the message of this movie. There's no place like home. Yeah, man.
I could see why it's gotten like
I totally appreciate
all the love and why it's like has been around for like all this time.
I think maybe I would feel differently if I was more into musicals, but just the same, I did enjoy this movie and it was really fun.
Yeah.
But that, man, you want to pivot to scores?
Let's go, man.
I'll kick us off.
Yeah, you go kick us off.
I was kind of teetering between two scores for this movie.
I think I can know which one too.
I kind of have it. My feeling on this movie kind of mirrors a little bit of how I felt about Rosemary's Baby. I enjoyed this more than Rosemary's Baby. I'm going to be honest with you. But I like the legacy of this movie is like it's hard to ignore. I am going to go with a 4 on this movie. It's a movie that I do really like. I think there's some standout elements of it. It looks visually very beautiful, and it's a wholesome, fun story. And there are some really strong, there's like really good comedic elements to this movie that are fun, that make the journey of the 4 characters really fun to tag along. I wish the villain was a little stronger. I know this villain is extremely iconic, so I mean, totally appreciate that. She's got some iconic lines like "I'll fix you and your little dog too,"
Yeah.
But I would have liked a little bit more. She's a one-dimensional villain.
Yeah.
And I would have liked a little bit more to that character, but just the same, really enjoyable. Highly recommend folks revisiting this. They haven't seen it in a while, especially with Wicked coming out. But
I mean, yeah, it could be a nice little trilogy.
Yeah, I'm totally and I'm planning to see Wicked. I want to see the first part and then check out the new one. But yeah, that's where I'm at, man. What about you?
Man, I'm giving this a 3.5, just because although it does have a lot of like pros for me as well, like because like as soon as they get to Munchkin Land and like the visuals of like all the colors popping, the costumes, and some of the songs, it's a pretty enjoyable film. But you could definitely see it's aged just a little bit as far because as soon as you turn on, you can't help. I mean, it came out in 1939. You can't help but no matter how much color and how much like songs you say, like 1939 is still 1939, and. Man, but it like I can't knock that it's like it's test of time because like it's 2025. It'll be rolling on 100 years that this movie has been around eventually before us.
Yeah, 14 years.
Yeah, and so like I have to give it as props for that as well. But it just falls short as like far as like rewatchability because I probably will never watch this movie again unless like. I see it in like in a sphere or like a special type of setting. Yeah, or like a big screen, like maybe an IMAX or something like that.
I agree.
Like I just I'm never gonna like be at home and be like I'm gonna watch The Wizard of Oz because like if that I could just watch Wicked because still like the thing.
Well, Return of Oz, I'll definitely that's on my list.
I'll probably check out that just because it'll be a different experience.
Is definitely on my list.
Yeah, and so like it just falls short as far as like the rewatchability. Because it's hard to beat 1939. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because even like when you put on Wicked and this, like I said, the colors are still great and the visuals are still great. They still hold up for how old it is, but you can't compare it to like a Wicked because there's still the color as far as like the colors. The colors are still just going to pop a little harder. But all in all, it's still a well done film. The characters are great. The message is really great as well. So like if you're a fan of like this franchise, you definitely have to watch this movie. If you're a fan of Wicked and Wicked for Good and you've never seen Wizard of Oz, like come on, man, you gotta at least sit down and watch it one time. And it's not even that long. It's only like an hour 40-some minutes.
No, it flies by.
Yeah, and you're only in that dreary Kansas state for like 10 minutes at best. So yeah, give it a watch if you haven't seen it.
Cool. Well, that wraps up our episode for this week. Stay tuned and we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.